Hi everyone, I'm David, and today we're going to take a close look at our latest flagship imaging radar, zPRIME 3.0, and we're going to learn how to set up and use the radar. Step 1, when you look at zPRIME, on the back there will be a singular connector for data and power. This has 1000 base T1 automotive Ethernet and 12 volt DC power. To connect to this, you'll take the supplied zPRIME 3.0 cable. This cable has the appropriate connector on this side and breaks it out to the TE MateNet 1000 base T1 data cable on this side and 12 volt DC jack on the other side. To connect the cable to zPRIME, first we're going to look at where the red tab is on this connector, and we're going to line it up with the outside of zPRIME. And we're just going to take this connector and we're going to push it in fully until it clicks. Then to lock the connector, we'll take the red tab and push it down. Now zPRIME is connected to the cable. Once your data connector is connected, you're going to mount zPRIME onto your test platform of choice. Here we're just using a tripod for easy testing. On the other side of the cable, you're going to take the data connector and you're going to plug this in. If you're using a computer, your 1000 base T1 to RJ45 media converter. And we're going to plug the data port from the radar into the input port of the media converter. Then we're going to look at the settings on the media converter and make sure that the media converter is set to 1 gigabit 1000 base T1 mode in master mode. When the data is plugged in, we can now plug in power to the system. Both the converter and the radar use 12 volts DC. In your kit, we have provided power splitter that provides 12 volts DC to two sources. We're going to now plug in the radar first to 12 volts DC, and then we're going to plug in the media converter. When both devices have powered up, check that the status of the link is connected. Then we're going to take the RJ45 connection and plug it into your computer's Ethernet interface. Make sure your Ethernet interface supports gigabit Ethernet. After you plug zPRIME into your network interface, go to your system settings and go to your network settings. In here, find the Ethernet interface that you've connected zPRIME to and change the IP settings from DHCP to manual. By default, the IP address of zPRIME from the factory is 192.168.0.10. So set your computer's IP address to anything other than this number on the same subnet. In this case, I'm going to use 192.168.0.2. Make sure the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. and then save the setting. Once this is done, you should be able to see that your computer is now connected to the network. Then open up any web browser, and zPRIME serves a web page that you can use to change system settings and to view the point cloud live. This works on any web browser on any system. You can visit this web page by visiting the IP address of zPRIME, in this case 192.168.0.10. You can see that the web page loads. Alternatively, every zPRIME also offers the same web page on a local URL. The local URL follows the format zprime-serialnumber.local. So let's look at the serial number of this zPRIME. In this case, the serial number is 4725CDU001.local. When you visit this URL, you should also be able to see that the same web page pops up. This main area is for the point cloud visualization, and you can start the radar in a given mode by selecting a mode under scenario setup. In this case, you can see that the radar by default starts in idle mode, and you can select any of the modes here to begin framing. In this case, we're going to start the radar in mode number 1, which is our ultra short range mode for our ultra wide radar. And you can see on the right hand side here, we have high elevation points corresponding with the trees on the right, and we have two cars visible as these rectangles in the middle of the screen. We also have this large fenced off area visible on the upper left. And you can change between different modes by selecting a different scenario to run the radar under. In this case, we're going to select an 85 meter mode. And you can see now that the radar is now detecting more points further away. You can use this web browser with the mouse to view the 3D point cloud, to zoom in and out, and you can see the point cloud in 3D space. You can also use the settings on the left to change between first-person view and bird's eye top-down view. You can also select different ways of coloring the point cloud by selecting here, color by height, by range, by Doppler, or by SNR. And you can also configure the size of the points for static and dynamic objects. Finally, you can select settings for the radar in this menu at the top. Under the settings menu, you can upload new firmware from Zadar Labs. You can upload new modes when provided by Zadar customer support. You can select the default mode that the radar automatically begins framing under once powered up, in this case, any of the modes available under the modes menu. And you can select different network settings for the radar. In this case, you can change the IP address for the radar itself. By default, it's 192.168.0.10. Or you can select different output IP addresses. The radar will send UDP point cloud data to this output IP address destination and to the point cloud port and IMU port that you configure under these settings. Once you finish configuring these settings, you can click the Save Settings button, and these settings will automatically be saved into the memory of the radar for next time. Finally, click Reboot to reboot the radar to apply these settings. The radar takes about 10 seconds to reboot, and when you revisit the web page, you should be able to see that the web page is now live again. Here's a quick demo on how to use and view the point clouds of zPRIME 3.0. As you can see, zPRIME 3.0 is made to be very easy to visualize and set up the sensor for basic evaluation tasks. To connect and get more data from zPRIME directly into your system's software stack, please refer to the Zadar software guide. Hope you liked it, and thank you for watching.